Yay, happy Independence Day to our neighbors across the borders. 4th of July. Welcome to the Queen Amina Show. Today we have an exciting guest that is going to be teaching us how you can allow your body to heal itself naturally. Yes, drugs are dangerous to your health. So we're going to hear from an industry expert, Wilma David. Wilma is going to tell us her story from the beginning to how she became a healer, and she is an archangel healer. So I am super excited to hear all about this, how it works, what she does. Even remotely, she could talk to you and send some energy. So let's
Yes.
bring Wilma up and see exactly what she does, how it all started. So hold on for me, guys. Drum roll. Voila. Hi, Wilma.
Hello. Hello, Queen Amina.
How
And
are you?
hi to your many viewers, followers, audience, and subscribers in Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you so
Hello.
much. Thank
Yes,
you
yes,
for your
yes.
time. Thank you for saying yes to come share these amazing techniques and stuff with us.
Finally, the last time was a bit of technical issue, but this time everything is positive.
Amen.
Vibration, the
Amen.
sunshine, the universe.
Awesome. So, Wilma, behind the scene,
Yes.
we were talking, and you told me a very interesting story of how you were born. So, we're
Yes.
going to start with who is Wilma and just, walk us through a background so people know that you know
Mhm.
what we're talking about.
Yes, I'm so excited. And as I said, thank you for allowing me to be in your show. And I think I shared with you the story of how I was born. My background is Asian, so it's a mix of Filipino and Spanish. And then when my mother was about to give birth to me, and that time in the early 70s, my father doesn't have any vehicle yet. So when my mother was about to give labor to me, she told my dad that I want to give birth in the hospital because my eldest brother, he was born at home through a midwife. So, but like that day, there are a lot of political issues back home, and there was a transportation strike. So there was no like, my father doesn't have a car yet at that time. So they were able to find, or my father was able to find a transportation from one location to another.
Mm.
And then, but because of the strike of the massive transportation, are hauled in the streets in one location. After that is still some distance or kilometers away from the hospital. My father was able to find, the horse with the carriage, like it is back home, like a horse, and then there's a carriage
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
back,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then my mother was, put in that carriage, and then the horse, according to my father, was just like acting crazy.
Oh,
Like in the movie, the horse was just making like funky whatever movement or sound, right? So the one who was, in control of the horses is what's going on. So anyway, bottom line, they were able to make it to the hospital.
mhm.
So when my mother was inside the surgery for her delivery, voila, there is a power blackout.
Oh,
There is a power failure. So the entire city had a power failure. So what happened is like, when the generator came into the to the operating room, the surgeon went to my father and said like, it's kind of like a 50-50 chance of who will survive, either my mother, myself, or none of us survive, right?
mhm.
And well, obviously, my father would ask the surgeon why is the reason, right? And my position was I was like in a bridge position, so my feet is coming out first.
Wow, your birth seems to have a lot of drama around it.
Exactly. So by the time that the doctors, because at that time there's no C-section, you know how it is in the modern days,
Yeah, yeah.
they do cesarean, right? But this
Mm-hmm.
time, I don't think that they are equipped, so I have to become out normal. So anyway, I came out feet first. I was
Wow.
delivered coming out feet first, and my hands were clamped. So imagine like the danger of that, me being in strangle because my feet came first, right? So miraculously, so both of us survived. So it's myself and my mother both survived. And then, so Viola, when people knew I was born with feet first, everybody's rejoicing. Because in our country, in our ancestral belief, actually, people can Google born feet first. That means you are a gift. You have a gifted ability to heal people. So you're a gifted healer.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, so as soon as people found out that I have that gift, so as I was growing old, like 5, 6, 7 years old, it
Mm-hmm.
started with your family member. So like when you touch them, they feel something, you know. Obviously, me as a kid, I don't know what's going on. All I know, they say that I have this gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I was 7 years old. People started to come to our house, and I just followed my mother.
Anyway, so as soon as people found out that I have.
Yeah. So I just like people come to our house and I just follow my mother. I said, okay, just touch them. Obviously I'm a little girl. Like I said, okay, I just follow my mother, right? So anyway, and as an early age, I see different things that not normal people can see. So I know I have a
Wow.
very strong psychic abilities. And the very first time I saw an angel, it was under a tree in our garden. So
Hmm.
I was playing, and then something really beautiful came out to me. And then I thought it was a fairy, but I know it was an angel. So from that point of childhood, like 7 years old, 8 years old, or I always see them and I play with them, and people would ask me, who are you talking? Who are you playing?
Yeah.
So that I became close with them, close with these angelic beings that people doesn't see. So as I was growing up, I know I have that energy or power or whatever you call it or gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but normally since you're a child, it feels like you're not normal. It's like it feels like if you have seeing things that not normal people see, people would think that you're weird or something's wrong with you. What's wrong with you?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
especially when you're talking to yourself, right? Especially like you're by yourself and you're laughing, you're smiling, and then people are asking, "What's wrong with you? You're smiling by yourself." Like, well, I'm not by myself. I'm talking, right? So
Wow.
anyway, so as I was growing up, the more my psychic abilities was, like very active. I know my third eye because I see soul, I see spirits, and they're not the dark one. They're very the light one. That they're very energetic. But anyways, as I
So,
said to you,
okay.
um, so for that period of time, as like like a kid or a young girl, and then going up to high school, I said like I don't want this anymore. I just want to be like a normal teenager or something. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, as soon as I finished my high school and went to university, I decided to just tell my parents not to do anything about healing. I don't want it anymore. I don't want. So that's the time I took my engineering degree. This is a chemical engineering. So I studied science. I studied chemistry, metaphysics, different layers of science. So, and I think I told you when I migrated to Canada, I don't want to be known as a healer. I want to forget that. I said like I'm gonna start a new career to Canada where nobody knows me as a healer. So anyway, so as soon as I migrated to Canada, which is about maybe 15, more than 15 years now, of course, the first thing you do as an immigrant, what you're gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I practiced my chemical engineering in the pharmaceutical industry,
So you
and
started working as a chemical engineering
yeah, in a
engineer
pharmaceutical industry.
at
Actually,
at
yeah,
where?
there are multinational companies here in Canada, and then there are top giant companies that they are manufacturers of generic drugs and
Mhm.
branded drugs.
Okay.
So I'm working with doctors, scientists, and in the manufacturing team.
Mm-hmm.
And I am personally in charge of buying every single ingredient that they use for drugs, you know.
Wow.
So, and
So
then
you know exactly what they put in different drugs that we are
exactly,
taking.
exactly. And
Okay.
obviously, when you know all these things and then people use it, it's okay to use them for medical purposes, like for example, in the hospital or something like that, you know.
Mhm.
But in my heart, I know that there are chemicals, there are side effects, you know. And then after working for about 15 years in the pharmaceutical industry, I was nudged by the universe, you know, the source, the God, whoever you believe it, and says like, Wilma, that's not your gift. That's not your gift, you know. You can use your chemical engineering or science or metaphysics background then, but that's not what you're called for. So anyway, so after I gave up my corporate, I wrote a book and I said, do not get off drugs now. And I co-authored the book with Les Brown. You know Les Brown, right?
Les Brown.
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
That's
yes.
huge.
Yes, so I co-authored a book with Les Brown and Dr. John Gray. Dr. John Gray is the
Oh,
author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
yeah, I've read his book. Yes.
Yeah, and I also co-authored with Raymond Aron, and he was the author of the Canadian Chicken Soup for the Soul, right?
Chicken Soup for the Soul. Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
do know him. Mhm.
So there I said, okay, I need to do my healing. I need to educate people. So from then, I started to study other field of science, which I am very good at, which is the healing. So I studied quantum, I studied Reiki, I studied aura, crystals, numerology, and then uh, I transformed my career into life purpose transformation coach, right? So that's why I took up my certification as a neuro linguistic practitioner. This way I can really transform, heal, and to change people's belief about
Drugs.
certain aspects, especially that with the COVID season, a lot of people have taken depression pills,
Yeah.
right? People who are addicted to acids because they're stressed, because they're having all this acidity, they're
Yeah.
having stress, right?
Mhm.
So what are you gonna do? They always just run to the pharmacy. Either they will buy tons of Tylenol or tons of ibuprofen or sleeping pills or anything for pain, right? So all these things that people doesn't know that you don't need this, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. And as I was telling you that there's a way to heal things naturally. So, and I became passionate about it. So that's why I joined many movement, like similar to your show, the Queen Amina show. This way I can educate people as well about if your mind is inflamed, if your brain is inflamed, if you have a lot of stress in your mind, it signals all these things in your body,
Wow.
right? Yeah, similarly, like if you people who are prescribed with let's say depression pills, right? What the pill or the depression pill or the anxiety or for people who have overthinking is like they take the drug. So what's happening when they take the drug is just gonna slow down your nervous system. This way you're just gonna be relaxed, you know? But the side effect of that, if you take those prolonged terms, because it's delaying your nervous system, either you may have dementia or you may have like forgetfulness or loss of memory and all these things, right?
Wow.
People doesn't realize that you have control over your body, especially the way you think, right? So this thinking pattern that you have in your mind, you can signal that in your body. This way you can heal naturally. So it's a very interesting matter that when you practice really your mind, really, you will just take away taking ibuprofen or paracetamol and all these things.
So, yeah, this is quite interesting because a lot of people are suffering from one kind of pain or the other.
Mm-hmm.
today, especially. There's
Mm-hmm.
pain of emotional pains that is caused by something they're going through, either
Mm-hmm.
lack of money or the death of a family member or the loss of a job. There's so
Mm-hmm.
much pain around the world today in
Exactly.
human life. So what you are saying is no matter what kind of pain you have, either in your body or in your emotions, you can heal it without drugs.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
am super
It
excited to
is actually.
know how
You
to
can
do this.
you can see from my testimonials on Instagram, so many client testimonials. And also, I think I mentioned to you one of my skills that is a very gifted ability that I have is I do soul traveling. Remember, I mentioned you to that I do
That
soul
was
travel.
scary, yeah. Okay, let's not talk about soul traveling yet. Let's talk
Yes,
about how can
healing.
the body heal naturally. What are the kind of things? Because
Um,
I know you were in the drug industry and you know
yes,
that these
yes.
drugs that we take,
Mm-hmm,
ibuprofen, Tylenol, Advil, name them, they're
mm-hmm,
all packed up with chemicals that
yes,
slows the nervous system down,
yes.
the growth system of the body, that the side effect is much later as you age.
After.
You could, either end up with dementia or whatever
Mm-hmm,
you call those
mm-hmm,
sicknesses
mm-hmm,
that old age
mm-hmm,
brings along. But
mm-hmm.
we are supposed to be growing stronger as we get older if we
Yes,
take care of our body without, pumping all these drugs into it, is
yes,
what you're saying. Okay,
yes.
so where we do start from is you need to begin to tell us
Okay.
how do you go through the process. Let's take, for example, as simple as having headache. Do
Okay.
you need Tylenol for headache?
Okay. First of all, as I said, remember there's these three aspects is mind, body, and soul, right?
Mhm.
So they are all connected. So number one, the body is controlled by the mind. So the mind is the number one thing that you have to be mindful for, right? Because a lot of people if you list many layers of how people say are having a headache, you know, and these are caused by what? Overthinking, right? Stress, tension, anxiety, or imbalance, fearfulness. So many other things that are caused by these negative stressors, right? So remember you have control in your mind, and wanting to be able to heal this headache or whatever it is that's manifesting is for a person to learn how to be calm, you know
Mm.
so right now people doesn't know how to be calm. They used to, that's why when the COVID, remember when the COVID switch, people doesn't know how to just rest, because when
No.
they stay home they feel so not comfortable because they got used to the routine of like boom 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 boom. I wake up in the morning, go to work, drive to traffic, then boom 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 boom, right? And
Yeah.
then so many tensions with work, report, schedules, meetings, and all these things, right? So
Mhm.
the mind at the end of the day or whatever it is triggering so many neurons and molecules that are being stressed, and most of the time, this heartbeat and palpitations is going up to your head and to your signals of the brain, right?
Mm.
But when you practice the art or the grace of being calm, even though you're busy, even though you are doing many things, but you are in alignment and remember, you can control your reactions. Your emotions are something that you can control. The moment that you feel that you are having all this trigger, like pressure like this, you
Mhm.
know just even like hold your with your fingers your head and just tell like, hey, slow down, slow down, slow down, right? And then your brain is listening to that frequency when you're saying to yourself, slow down, right? Because when it's like all this overacting like this, it feels that the nerves and the neurons in your brains are all expanding. Similarly, when you're going to the gym and you're pumping in the treadmill or muscles, right? Your energy, you're get hyper, right? So
Mm.
similarly with your brain, with the neurons and anything, you need to relax it, you know. And
Wow.
sometimes the medications are free. You just have to smile, you just have to sit down and stay calm. Or even like a breathing exercise, take a deep breath in, breathe
Wow.
out, inhale, exhale for 5 minutes, right? You're bringing the oxygen level up, and
Mhm.
the oxygen is free from the air. We breathe with air, right? But a lot of people are shallow breathing because they're in a hurry. They're always like,
Wow.
they're not really breathing from the diaphragm. They're just like this, just like, but you really have to breathe, inhale, exhale, like deep breathing, right? And then you are sending this oxygen up. Remember, when you are having a headache, that means that your oxygen level is going down, right? So
Okay.
when it's going down, that means like it's getting clogged. So when you even spend 5 minutes of just, you can do that now, Amina. Just, how do you feel? It's opening, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
releasing it. You're releasing it. So even 5 minutes of that time, instead of right away popping into taking some ibuprofen or paracetamol, it will slow you down, right?
Wow.
So those are little techniques and powerful. Or even like you just close your eyes for about a minute or two, and then just say to yourself, like, Wilma, just stay calm. Stay calm. Because we just got used to being so hyper, you know,
I know.
and it's the neurons is just like crazy. So yeah, that's one
Wow.
technique. As I said, you have to be calm, and especially nowadays it's getting popular, and which is done in the old days. People are meditating, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and some people, even they sit down in the sun, they're still overthinking, right? So many things, money, job, and all these things, right? Which means it's because you are not in alignment. You are not balanced with your mind.
You're not in control of
No,
your
no.
system. Yeah.
The only thing you can control is your reaction. The rest you have to surrender because the universe provides everything. When you are in the state of fear, or where you are in the state of the mentality of lack, these are the stressors that's triggering your energy, you know and also one aspect of healing yourself, obviously aside from the science or the medical, there's also the quantum and the metaphysical side, which is the energy, right? So a lot of people as well are, um, there are under many stressors because of environment. Let's say in your household, there are some tensions, and even though you don't like it, then you get some irritability, or like some sort of like
Mm-hmm.
comfort, right? So these things are clinging to your energy field, your auric body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, for example, like a boss that's very stressful or very demanding or very authoritative, and you are fearful, right? So that energy, which you don't see from the naked eye, because this is our energy, we're moving, right? So, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't feel where the energy is coming, because this is coming from the cosmic, this is from the universe, right? So what's happening is these negative energies that are surrounded by the people that you're working with, which are negative, are also contributing to the deterioration of your own health, right?
Wow.
So if many years in your life you are surrounded with toxic people, or like a negative environment or a negative thinking, so it accumulates. That's why some people just having some heart attack, sudden heart
Hmm.
attack, right? Or suddenly they have aneurysm. Like, how the brain aneurysm, suddenly there's the nerve in the brain will just cut, and then just people die right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's already an accumulation of all these blockages, which are negative blockages. So when
Mm-hmm.
energies are blocked, that people do is a quick fix. I say, I have I have a stomach pain or I'm having acidity. What do? They go to the pharmacy and get an acid, right? It's a cover up, it's a band aid, right? But they're not really targeting the root cause that I'm having spasm is because I am in tension. You're stressed, but you have to go to the doctor for, or is it worth it to be stressed for, you know? So why am I like this? Is because I'm fearful. As I said, number one thing that is very hard to remove is fear, you know. And this is what's happened with the recent lockdown, that a lot of people are fearful with the virus and all these things. And that's why there are people are panic buying, people are like rushing, you know, they are in a
Mhm.
state of I'm not gonna have toilet paper or I'm not gonna. So the brain started to just go faster than their body. So as I said, when the mind or the brain is inflamed, what do you expect? Your body is
You
inflamed.
get sick. Yeah.
Exactly. So when your mind is inflamed, this is the cause of people getting violent. You know, this is the
Oh, wow.
people like having all this like riot and all these things because the mind is inflamed. So obviously when the mind is inflamed, all these things resorted to physical problems that people resort to addiction, and people get addicted to as I said, either alcohol or they get
Mhm.
addicted to some form of drugs or nicotine or whatever it is because
Mhm.
they don't know how to remove it. So this is where there are other practitioners like myself, aside from the doctors, aside from medical doctors, like our approach, like are holistic. You know, we try to do things natural way. We try to help people. I try to help people do medicate themselves, but through natural resources, let's say like healthy foods or like from an extract from a bark of a tree, you know, that are more natural, like for example like oregano or lavender oil or things like that, right? They're
Mhm.
natural but it can calm you, it can
Wow.
it can relax you. But why would you take super a lot of this that is just like gonna harm your gut, is gonna harm your intestine and all these things. And as I said, it's the mind, it's your brain that you have in control. So once
That's,
brain,
that's amazing because there was a study that some group of athletes were
yeah,
given placebo and the other group were given real medication.
actually,
And the ones with placebo were told that they were sick.
yeah, actually, that is the part that I am. It's kind of like I slap face. That's why I left the corporate, because when we make drugs, obviously uh, there's benefit for using these prescription drugs, right? There's benefit that because in the hospital people need it, especially if they are in the very deep kind of pain or surgery or something like that, right? But if really people can avoid it, then might as well just avoid it. Because as I said, when you make some prescription drugs or anything, they have to test it, like they do clinical trials, right? They test it to people, how if it's effective or not, right?
Mhm.
So that's what you're saying. They have something of a capsule or a tablet that has the ingredient of, let's say, ibuprofen, and
Mhm.
there is something that is, there's nothing in it, you know. And
Wow.
people believe that these people who have nothing or just the placebo or even this one, they feel like I'm okay, I take this drug, but truthfully there's nothing in there,
I
right?
know.
So which means it's the state of your mind and
Right.
how you are thinking that could change your life and can save your life as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Martina Ekoko Werner, for your contribution there. She said, very true. Our behaviors come from our brains and mind.
Yes.
Very correct. So if you guys have any comment, any questions, please post it on the comment section and I would ask our archangel healer here. All right. So send in your question if you're having pain in your body and you want to know how you can naturally heal that so that you don't medicate your system so much so that you get sick as you're getting older. We're trying to bring help naturally I mean, natural help to this your solution of,
Mhm.
either pain or disease or sickness. And you told me, Wilma, that you could even help somebody to heal remotely.
Yes, 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 yes.
So if I have someone on watching right now that has pain anywhere, please
Mhm.
text your comment where it's paining you. Maybe you have pain in your feet, or you have pain on your arm, or let Wilma remotely take care of you, so that way you can see that what she's saying is true, and you will be able to call her. She doesn't
Yeah.
use no voodoo or no magic, or no, we don't have
No,
such things
no,
on
no,
this
no, no, not
platform.
like that.
They're
That's
all, just things that she would, prepare how you can, begin to think positively. In the
yes,
financial world, is the same. When you think negative, lack, poverty, you remain poor and you suffer lack, and you will never have plenty. But
yes,
when you think in abundance and you think positive all the time, you have the I can do mentality, you're sowing your seed, you see that money begins to come to you naturally. So it's the same way you can think, positively, calm your mind down so it's not racing 1 million miles per hour. You can heal your body naturally. So this is serious business, guys.
uh-huh.
If you want to experience that, send me your comment. And at the end of the show, stick around. We're going to tell you how you can access Wilma David, and she can help you. You can become one of her clients. So, Wilma, let's go on. You said to me behind the scene also that the chemicals that they put in these drugs, you had a license to begin to trade on these legal
Yes, yes,
drugs
yes.
in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah, obviously, because when you are working in an environment which is especially pharmaceutical industry, right? So obviously, what's at stake to your work is should be like 100% quality because it's you're saving lives of people, right? So
Mhm,
because they are taking this to help themselves to get better, right? So that's
mhm,
why in the industry where I work in the pharmaceutical industry, you really need to have that education to understand what are these chemicals that are going in the formulation or in the um, finished product of the drugs, right?
mhm,
And this I work because in the pharmaceutical industry, we work with doctors, scientists, formulators, and all these things who are innovating. Like, for example, people right now, for sure, scientists and doctors are collaborating how to have um, a virus solution for COVID, right? So they will develop something, a vaccine, right? So in the background, as a working in the pharmaceutical, so they tell me, okay, the scientists, well, this is the vaccine. So obviously, you have to buy all those ingredients or chemicals to make the vaccine, right?
mhm,
So that's why it needs for someone like me in my role in the pharmaceutical to have that understanding of what I'm buying, especially if it's related to chemicals, because we have regulations here which are governed by Health Canada, and we have to comply to those regulations.
mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I see Regalia outfit. We missed you. Welcome back on the Queen Amina show. Martina, thank you. My mama, all the way from Nigeria, Hajia
Hello, Mama.
Hadija. Welcome. You guys, thank you so much. Please share this broadcast. It could save somebody's life from one more day of heavy medications in their system. So,
Mhm,
we are talking today about how you can allow your body to naturally heal itself, and it has the ability to actually do that if you
mhm.
would give the body a chance to do that. And our guest is special guest, I would say, is Wilma David. And yeah, so Wilma,
Mhm.
you somebody sent in a question, and this is gonna be very funny, but I would ask it anyways. Person said, if you have this much power, like you are
Mhm.
saying, how come you did not go to heal the COVID patients in the hospital? They need service, they need help from people like you.
Well, to answer that question, actually, um, I was part of it collectively, actually. So I was remotely healing people that are like in the on stage of it, early on stage of it. Remember that what's going on with the universe right now, including this COVID thing, is part of a global awakening, you know, and true, collectively, there's a lot of people getting sick, right? And we, as a healer or as a light worker, our role is to prevent it, not to expand it, right? And actually, during the COVID season, it was the busiest time of myself doing healing, is because people doesn't go to the hospital, right? And normally I send them Reiki. There are different modalities of alternative healing, right? There is, as I said, quantum. There is theta healing. There is qigong. There is crystals. All these things, right? But it depends on how the inflamed the person is. It depends on how the inflammation already, to what extent it is. So during the COVID season, as a collective or as a natural healer, we're sending this energy in healing to not to expand the virus, so people who are approaching us and say, Wilma, I have a cold or something like that, I cannot go to the doctor. So as a light worker who's given something with the gift, so I help those things, you know and actually most of the people who were in COVID are getting the virus because it is in their mind that they will get the virus. you know they,
Yeah.
it's the paranoia, is being hypochondriac that they will get the virus itself. So the thinking, that's why they are, as I said, their body is starting to inflame, is because the psychological pattern of their mind right now is like, I'm gonna get the virus, I'm not gonna get the virus, I'm gonna get the virus, right? So during this
Wow.
time, for answering her questions, we as light workers, we did so much meditation to calm the collective, the somehow you're taking part of it, because like we have to take our part first, to heal, right? So
Mhm.
when we do our part as well, then we are somehow um minimizing this effect, right? And as I said, power is a big word, or power is very powerful, right? But in our gift or abilities, we are guided by the source. We are divinely guided by someone higher than us, whoever God you believe it. They are in control, not us. So us, I am just one person who are in a mission to somehow help at least one person, two-person, three people, four or five, right? At
Okay.
least I know as a part of this role on Earth, we are doing something little by little, and I know
You're doing your own part.
exactly.
You
I know
can't save the world because somebody already saved the world. Jesus already saved the world, and Jesus can heal all of these things. So,
exactly.
where does that connect with God? Do you believe in God? I'm just asking this
Yes, yes.
personally here. Okay.
Personally, myself, I do. We have a source, right? So as I said, as an angelic practitioner, there are many levels. There's always like a source. In my heart, I do believe I have a source, but um, it's in my own belief, because I grew up with that, right?
But
And
do you believe that God is the ultimate healer?
of course,
Okay.
even my own abilities is not coming from me.
Okay.
I give everything, all the credit, to someone higher than me, and obviously that is to someone who is the God I believe in my heart. you
That's
know
perfect. Okay.
and a
Okay.
supernatural being. I'm sure that it's hard to explain
I
in
understand. If you want to know the God that we are serving, so you're clear and it's not hard to explain, talk to me. I'll help you out with that.
oh nice.
All right. So,
Okay.
yeah, if you have questions anytime, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I believe God can heal every and any disease all over the world, not part, not one, not five, all of it. So,
Yes.
I can help you with that. I love Regalia's outfit statement. It says, "It is a pleasure, indefatigable host and distinguished guest." Wow, big English. I
Hello.
love that.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you are welcome. Well, okay, so that responds to the question that was asked.
Mhm.
And someone is saying, in your home, are you married? If yes, do you have children? If yes, do you have any medications in your home? If no, when people get sick in your home, do they go to the hospital? Wow.
Well, for myself, I'm not really taking any medication. I only have one product that I use for my inflammation and to boost my immunity. And it's a natural herbal that is based from a spruce tree extract. It's a very natural ingredient. And I think somebody asked me, I'm single. So, and in my home, I try not to put any medication because normally when you are buying keeping a stock of medication, even if it's a ibuprofen or paracetamol or what, you always have a tendency to get it, right? You always have a tendency, even like a small headache, you have a paracetamol, you just get it, right?
Mhm.
So in my home, it's not, I'm saying that I don't have anything because I have some natural products, let's say vitamin
Okay.
D, vitamin C, or
Mhm,
something that supplement your nutrients, right?
mhm,
But
mhm.
not something that has heavy ingredients or chemicals, I should say. I don't keep that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if someone has like an arthritic pain in their feet, how can you heal that?
I use different modalities, as I said. One is energy healing. Number two, I use theta healing. These are sometimes, as I said, the negative energies sometimes are manifesting in different parts of your body. So this negative stress either can manifest in your heart, right? That's why you're palpitating, or
Mhm.
sometimes like you're tired, and it can manifest an accumulated negative energies, and it can store in your hips, right? Or sometimes it could be some sort of on the spiritual side or metaphysical side, a lot of like negative entities, like
Mm,
negative entities from people. And that, me as a healer, I try to clear those blockages, remove them. And if
okay.
you ask me how do I clear these blockages, it's something of a technique that us like who are practitioners uh, access your subconscious mind. Because remember, I do psychology as a neuro-linguistic practitioner. We
Mhm.
tap the subconscious mind. This way, the state of your brain, whether it's the beta or theta, you're tapping it. This way, it's signaling a healing to the molecules or to the particles or the cellular level to heal your pain or arthritis, right? Because normally when you are at pain on your legs or inflamed, your thought is pain, right?
Yeah.
So your mind is programmed to be in painful, right? Always, I'm painful. I cannot walk. I cannot walk. I need this. I need this, right? But
Mhm.
as as therapists, or in the behavioral hour, we're changing these patterns. It's not an overnight cure, but once you master to convert these thought patterns into healing patterns, then your body is reacting. It's slowly generating the cells, repairing it by itself. But because you are in a constant state of pain, 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 and then take all these pain medications, so your energetic field is already clogged. So
Wow.
it needs to be unclogged with that negative energy. This way, your brain will naturally heal and signal to your body that I'm repairing your cells, I'm repairing your ligaments, I'm repairing your veins or something. But people are already like palpitating because they're stressed of the pain, right? So that's why you're getting more pain.
Wow. So this much talk about you are what you think about.
Yes,
It's
that's
so
true.
true, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so every platform, every one that I come across, when you start talking to them, you realize that they're either at the extreme end of believing that this thing is not, or they are at the extreme end of believing that this thing is. And
Hmm.
whichever side you are, your whole system gravitate towards such things. So
Yes.
why is it that if this is so true, why then do you think that people are not rather gravitated towards positive so that they can be successful even in their own health? Why
One.
is everybody so negative and everybody it's so easy to just go towards negative? I have
Yeah.
headache, I have headache, I have headache, and then they keep saying it all day long. I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. Then they continue to say that. Then
Yes.
you wonder why you never have money. You
Yes.
wonder why you always have headache. Why is that?
In a neuro-linguistic psychology, those are called patterns, behavioral patterns, right? So as you are growing up, sometimes you are programmed like that by the environment where you are. Let's say it could be your parents. You see your parents taking drugs all the time. So you
Mhm.
think it's good for them, right? So you are copying these same patterns. And there's belief you are carrying it in your brain as you are growing up, right?
Mm.
And the thing is because like when you are copying this pattern, you listen to them because you think it's right, but it's not, right?
Wow.
So, and a lot of people are now really educating themselves, especially now there's a huge danger of self-medication because people right now can just Google anything.
I know. I know. Oh my goodness.
So they will just Google anything, let's say pain in this, right? So obviously Google would recommend all these medications, right? And obviously if they available over the counter, what they're gonna do is just rush go and just buy them over the counter, right?
Mm.
So, but it needs some education. It needs to have your time to just somehow like analyze it because most of the things are just you just need to unclutter, you just need to detox, you know you just need to be mindful of your habits, right? And again, if it works for a person, it's not 100% it will work for you because our structure, our
The
chemical
system
structure
is
is not
completely different. Yeah.
exactly. But some, they're copying what they've seen from their mother or
Yeah.
they've
Yeah. Or somebody's gonna say, you know what? If you have headache, just take this because I
yes,
took it the other day and it worked for me. Self
yes,
prescription, self
yes.
medication. It's so dangerous, guys.
And
That is so so
by
dangerous.
by statistics, there's a lot of people who already die because of self-medication,
Yeah.
self-medicating. And this is the danger of people like having many prescription drugs in the house, right? Anybody can just take it in the
Mhm.
medicine cabinet, and they think it's for, there are like for example, like ibuprofen or Tylenol. There are some of them that they have codeine or narcotic, right?
Yeah.
So because it calms you, it makes you sleep, right? Because when you take these things, it's gonna knock you off, and then you're gonna sleep, right? So a lot of people, by statistics, already died because of self-medication, and in fact, they think that it's treating their body, but it's not the right diagnosis. You
Mm.
know, it's just because somebody have taken it doesn't mean it applies to your own
Yeah,
body.
that is going on a lot. Like
Yes,
somebody took the medication, it worked for them, and then the next time their friends or family member is sick, they just prescribe. Instead of talking to a professional, they just decide, you know what, Tylenol will heal this headache. Meanwhile, some people will take Tylenol, pop it till you turn blue, it won't do nothing. You
yes,
give them Advil, it's gonna work.
yeah.
So everything is here, like you said. I am very big on natural stuff. I don't take no medication, not because it's a taboo in my life. I just try hard not to medicate my system if I can avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Even cream. Some people rub all these things that has heavy chemicals. It goes through the pores of the skin and then it goes into your system.
Bloodstream.
They are so toxic. The
Yes,
soap, the lead in the water and all of this stuff.
yes,
I don't know. It just thank God for shows like this that would
Mm-hmm.
bring this kind of things out
Mm-hmm.
from everyday ordinary people like me and you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I
And
would
this is
continue
your
to,
platform, right? We're educating people. It's nothing complicated. We're not in competition of what
no,
really are there, but
no.
we are just educating on ordinary way for people to be conscious about it.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Truly,
you.
truly, I appreciate you. And guys, some of the things that she has shared with us today is number one powerful healer within yourself is stay calm. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she talks about surrender all and control your reaction. What does
Yes.
that mean? When something is happening, surrender it to God, stay calm, expecting a good positive result. And controlling your reaction means have a positive attitude towards that particular thing. And before long, you will notice that the bad disappears and the good takes over. Why? Because you're surrounding yourself with positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other
Absolutely.
thing that she talked about, am I right?
Yes, absolutely. You're
Just
good.
summarizing what I learned from you. I learn every day. When people come on this show, I take notes for me. I learn from me, you know. So I hope you guys are learning too. Um, Another thing that you talked about in summary is your body really doesn't need drugs because those drugs are toxic, they're chemicals. You know, what your body need is, you know, to allow itself, give it the opportunity to heal naturally. Because right from the word go, when God created us, he gave us natural herbs for us to eat and heal. There was no medication, there
Yes.
was nothing. Even those medications were taken from natural things, then poisoned with whatever chemical, seductive, and all of those sedatives and all of those things that they put in it to make you to control your system. You know,
Mm-hmm.
calm it down by force, and then
Mm-hmm.
you get sick. So your body has the natural ability to heal itself if you give it time.
Yes.
That's what I learned from this and many more things that. And then you said something that was super powerful. You said the body is controlled by the mind. And I added that if the body is controlled by the mind, then the mind is controlled by the soul, and
Yes.
it's body, mind, and soul. So this is the whole circle that you need to surrender and control whatever is attacking that three trio being. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
And with that, you would, I can talk like this because I personally have experienced a lot of what you're talking about. When I have headache, all I do is I don't worry about the headache because
I know.
worrying in my mind is going to bring more pain in my head.
Exactly.
So what
Actually,
I do is I
I
stay
feel,
calm, I turn off the light, I stay in a quiet place,
yeah,
you know, and I just don't worry about it. And very quickly, I don't even realize when the headache goes
I
away.
know.
You
Yes.
know, having said that, there might be headache because of an underlying issues happening that we don't know. We're not doctors or medical professionals by any means
Mhm.
advising you not to take medications. Whatever you want to do, always consult with the expert in that area in
Yeah.
your that you have. If you're
Yeah.
sick,
Mm-hmm.
go to the doctor. It,
Mm-hmm.
by all means, you
Mm-hmm.
know, this is a natural thing that if you believe that your body can heal, your body will heal. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard testimonies where people naturally healed by cancer, healed out of cancer naturally, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because of here, your mind. Okay,
Yes.
mind is a very powerful machine for your body. I'm changing my whole life right now from here. You know,
Yes.
physically, you know, things that surround you, they're very negative. You go to the store, you step outside, it's negative, negative, negative. But I'm using here right now and connecting with my God that I believe
Mm-hmm.
in, and
Mm-hmm.
everything around me is turning around for good. I
Especially,
can see it, you know.
especially
So
now it's summer. It's beautiful. So
absolutely.
going out with nature is already healing and very natural. Those
Mhm,
simple things that normally, out of the busy life, people are forgetting, right? So
mhm.
smelling the peppermint leaf or smelling the orange is already like therapeutic to relieve your headache. You know?
Absolutely. So, guys, Go out there, enjoy yourselves, stay positive. Staying positive doesn't mean you just sit down on a couch potato and say, you know what, I'm staying positive because I'm going to get rich. Touche. That's not what we're talking about. Make sure you're working, you're doing something, but while you're doing it, to multiply your effort of whatever you're doing, always have the I can do mentality. Always stay positive. Always surround yourself with positive messages. Why? Because what you hear quickly becomes your reality. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So if you want to change your life, first change here. Change here.
Yeah.
Very important.
Mhm, mhm. Exactly.
All
That's
right. Thank you
thank
so much. Wilma, what else do you have for us before we let you go? And also, how can people get to you?
Okay. People can check my website. It's not hard to remember. It's just www.wilmaangel.com. So, and my email address is wdavidwellness@gmail.com. So, wilmaangel.com. So it's easier to remember to check out and connect with me.
Awesome. Then
Us,
thank you so much for your time today on the Queen
thank
Amina
you.
Show. We love you and hopefully we get to see you again. Don't be a stranger. Anytime you're doing anything, please let us know. We would promote it. And I think you have a book.
Yes, there's the authorities. It's amazing. It's available in Amazon. So it's called The Authorities. So I co-authored with Les Brown, Dr.
That's
Janet Ray,
awesome.
and Raymond Aron. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Send me the link after the broadcast and I'll post it right under. And I always get a copy of the books that I promote. So I'll be expecting a copy in the mail. And once I get
Absolutely.
it, I'll do a video and I'll study it and then we'll bring you back to talk about it again.
Exactly.
All
So
right.
as we end, I'm just sending positive energy to all the subscribers, listeners, and especially to you, Queen Nomina.
Thank
Thanks for
you
inviting me.
so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thanks. Bye bye.
Awesome. All right, guys, what a wonderful day today on the Queen Amina Show. I learned so much stuff that I am going to put into practice. One of my favorite things that she said was surrender it all and control your reaction. So, what is it that triggers your reaction to get angry? Stay away from it, surrender it. What is it that makes you happy? Stay with it, stick to that because joy from the inside brings a lot of positive things in your life. Having said that, don't forget to play a watch party on your platform for the Queen Amina Show because you could save a life from listening to this. Today, I have done my part by bringing you positive energy and positive vibes from our show today. I hope you put it into practice and help your body to heal itself naturally. Until tomorrow, same time, same place, on our Church Without Border. Our ministering pastor tomorrow is Pastor Ezra Olanie, a resident pastor with the RCCG here. We just get him to sit here to answer biblical questions. So if you have any Bible based question that you cannot ordinarily ask in a church service, bring it on tomorrow. He would be able to respond to those questions. Thank you for that. Much love, Martina. God bless you. And yeah, see you tomorrow, 4 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Facebook and YouTube Live. Until then, keep watching the Queen Amina Show.